Hello everyone, this is Aki. Thank you so much for your purchase. Today I will guide you on using this template and share the insights you will gain. Tracking college expenses, planning how to pay for it, and communicating the consequences of taking on too much debt is challenging. I created this worksheet for my own family to manage the college expenses for our son, who is currently a freshman in college, and our daughter, who is a high school senior preparing for college. Before diving into tabs and instructions, let's explore the analysis this worksheet offers. The only item that you should touch on the Dashboard tab is selecting the student at the top. You can track data for more than one student. In this example, for Michael, I can see under College Expenses table how much each year has been spent for tuition, housing, and other college cost categories. At the bottom, you also see the total for each year in college. The Payment and Loans table shows you how the expenses were paid, what sources were utilized. The way majority of people pay college expenses are with grants, scholarships, savings, 529 plan funds, and loans. You can see what are the largest funds used to cover college expenses. There are totals for each category as well as visual color indicators of the largest cost. The loans table summarizes the type of loans the family and student had to take in order to bridge the gap between expenses and payments. The type of loans tracked here are the federal direct subsidized, unsubsidized, parent loans, and private loans. For each type of loans, you have the total loan amount, average interest rate for that category, monthly payments, and the total cost of the loans, which includes interest. The post-college repayment table tells the student what is the minimum salary required to pay off the student loans if the monthly payment is capped at 10% of monthly salary, how much in interest they would pay off during the standard 10-year period, and at what age they would repay all their student loans. It gives them more concrete information on what happens when you borrow too much for college. The Chart tab gives a more visual summary of the information in the tables. You can see in the college expenses chart which college expenses are the largest. In the Payment Sources one, you can see what were the largest sources of funding for college for the student, and the type of college loans pie chart tells you which type of student loans were utilized the most. At the top, the summary paragraph offers a written overview of the post-graduation repayment scenario. It outlines the student's monthly repayment amount, the necessary salary, potential interest savings with slightly increased monthly payments, and the expected date of being student loan debt-free if they accept a specific job offer. It is a concrete summary of the analysis and college debt consequences. Now let's go through how to use this template to get the same type of analysis for yourself or your family. First, you should go to the Instructions tab. This template is to help you in your decision making but not give you definite answer, and the more and better data you provide, the better insight you can get from it. Throughout the template, all data has been color-coded. You should enter data only in the yellow cells. The white cells give you drop-down options which you can use. The blue cells should not be changed as they are mainly formulas, assumptions, and variables. All the tabs are protected, but if you are familiar with Excel and want to modify the template through your own needs, you can unprotect them by going to Review, Unprotect Sheet. However, be cautious about the flow of all the modified calculations. This template should be used only for personal use and not reproduced or sold. Begin at the top with Step 1 on the Inputs tab. Feel free to ungroup the items for detailed instructions. While some of the instructions may seem repetitive, they are included to ensure clarity in cases someone chooses to skip around. You can click on the link to the Input tab to get there. Here you have to put in the student's name and when they started college. Override the Student 1 and Student 2 sample data with your information. All other categories should be left alone as they are used in other tabs and the dashboard. If I go back to the instruction, I can select Step 2, which shows me which column on that tab I have to enter, which ones I should not touch, and which ones have a drop-down menus to use. When I click on the Cost tab, I can see some sample data that you can delete. This is just to show you how you should enter the data here. Note that many columns have comments that offer additional information or instructions when you hover over them. If at some point they become annoying, you can select one or multiple cells, right-click and select Delete the comments. First, select the student name, which now I have an option for Michael and Jane, since that is what I added on the Input tab. Then select the class and college. Now you have to enter the date in column D, which will assign the expenses or payments to the appropriate year. Based on that date, a year and term is calculated. Next are very important columns. Here you specify whether what you are entering is an expense or a payment. Based on that selection, you will have a subcategory options in column H. If I enter an expense, I can select tuition, housing, etc. If I enter a payment, I can select savings, loans, etc. In the detailed column, you can enter any notes and additional information for yourself. The next two columns are also super important. Enter the amount of expenses in column J and payments in column K. Make sure you do that correctly. Otherwise, the summary tables will not be accurate. The final column calculates a running total of both expenses and payments. At several points, it should approach zero or be close to it, signifying that all college expenses have been covered by various funds, otherwise the student would be unenrolled. Avoid making changes to column L unless you are comfortable manipulating worksheet data. We will go back to the instructions now. Here you can also see all the colors on the worksheet being color-coded. Input data into the yellow cells, utilize the drop-down menus in the white cells, and refrain from altering the blue cells. The Loans tab is a more detailed view on the subsections of all the loans listed on the Cost tab. I could filter all the payments to loans and copy the loan detail to the Loans tab to get started or enter them manually. Here select the student name, type of loan for the loan name detail. You can add the lender servicer for your own reference. Column F, G, and H are also for your reference, whether the loans are federal or private, subsidized or unsubsidized, fixed or variable. However, for all the calculations, all the loans are assumed to be fixed to keep the analysis manageable. In column I, enter the date when the loan started. Will the interest and repayment begin when the student graduates or earlier? Then put in the loan amount. Most loans have loan fees, which are often calculated as a percentage of their total. You can keep track of them here, but for simplicity's sake, they are not part of the calculations. Column L assumes the standard 10-year loan repayment. Number of payments is the total number of months repaying the loan. Column N is important because that is the interest rate on each loan, which is used in column O, P, and Q to calculate the monthly payment, total cost of the loan, and interest that will accumulate on it. You can also add website address for the loan services in column R, but it is optional. We will go back to instructions now. The last step, Job tab, has the same color coding specification. Enter data only in the yellow cells and don't touch the blue cells. Provide the age at graduation for your students and when they are planning on starting to repay their student loans. In column E, you can also add how much in additional payments would you want to test the scenario. The default is $100, but you can change that. Column F assumes the maximum in monthly repayment would be capped at 10% of your monthly salary. In column G, Input the median salary for the student's major at their college, and in column H, specify the actual or anticipated salary for a job in the market they aim to enter. The Reference tab contains details on the maximum annual limits for federal subsidized and unsubsidized loans, along with definitions of the types of student loans available, and provides sources for that information. Take your time familiarizing yourself with the template and enter accurate data for more insightful analysis. Thank you again for your purchase.